Hello students, today we will talk about the salts, types of salt. Firstly, we should come to know about the salt substance which are formed by the neutralization of an acid with a base is called salt. For example, if we take NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, when we react sodium hydroxide with hydrochloric acid, then it will produce sodium chloride, that is NaCl, and H2. So here we can say that sodium hydroxide is base and hydrochloric acid is acid. So when base react with acid, it forms salt, and the nature of salt is neutral, and the formation of H2 is also takes place. So salt is what? When base react with acid, then the formation of salt takes place. Now classification of salt. It is based on their mode of formation. First, normal salt. The salts which are obtained by the complete replacement of the ionizable hydrogen atom of an acid by a metallic or an ammonium ion are known as normal salts. For example, normal salts NaCl and Na2SO4 are formed by the complete replacement of ionizable hydrogen atoms of HCl and H2SO4 respectively. So if we have got example, that is H2SO4, sulfuric acid. When H2SO4 react with NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, it produced Na2SO4 plus H2. So in this example we can see that in H2SO4 two hydrogen atoms are present, and in NaOH one hydroxide ion is present. So we will take 2 moles of NaOH. When we take 2 moles of NaOH, then the formation of Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate, takes place. And in sodium sulfate there is no any replaceable hydrogen or replaceable OH minus ion. That's why Na2SO4 is a normal salt. So for the formation of normal salt, the condition is that acid and base both are present in sufficient amount. If they are present in insufficient amount, then it's not possible, then we can form normal salts. So it is the necessary condition, and the second necessary condition is that complete replacement, means complete replacement of ionizable hydrogen atoms of an acid. Complete replacement of an acid by a metallic or an ammonium ion are known as normal salts. Now acidic salts. Second is acid salt. The salts which are obtained by the partial replacement of ionizable hydrogen atoms of a polybasic acid by a metal or an ammonium ion are known as acid salt. So here acid salt, we can say that the salt in which replaceable H plus ions are present. For example, if we take an example of H2SO4 plus NaOH, and if we have got insufficient amount of sodium hydroxide, then here complete replacement of H plus of H2SO4 is not possible. So the formation of NaHSO4 takes place. NaHSO4 plus H2O. So in acidic salt we can see that in acidic salt replaceable H plus ions are present. And due to the presence of replaceable H plus ion, that salt have the tendency to react as a acid. That means we can say that acid salts ionize in aqueous solution to produce hydronium ion. Therefore, they exhibit all the properties of acid. And for the formation of acidic salt, it is a necessary condition that the acid should be polybasic in nature. Condition is acid should be polybasic in nature. If acids are not polybasic in nature, then we cannot form acidic salt. And the second necessary condition is that the base is present in insufficient amount. If base is present in in sufficient amount of base. And third condition is partial replacement. Partial replacement. So if we have got all of three conditions, then we can form an acidic salt. Now, next example is if we have got NaOH and the acid is H2CO3, we can see that the acid is polybasic, that is dibasic in nature, because H2CO3 have the tendency to give 2H plus ion. That's why we can say that H2CO3 is dibasic acid. And for the formation of acidic salt, it is the necessary condition, and when only one hydrogen will replace, it will form NaHCO3 and H2. And in this NaHCO3, that is sodium bicarbonate, replaceable H plus ion is present. So we can say that sodium bicarbonate is acid salt. It is an acid. Next example is sulfuric acid plus KOH. Here we can say that base is potassium hydroxide and acid sulfuric acid, which is dibasic in nature. So the formation of KSO4 takes place. Next is basic salt. In basic salt are formed by partial replacement of hydroxyl group of a di or a triacidic base by an acid radical are known as basic salt. And for the formation of basic salt, the necessary condition is that base should be polyacidic in nature, and acid should be present in insufficient amount. And the third condition is partial replacement is there. So if suppose we have got lead hydroxide, and the formula of lead hydroxide is PbOH whole twice. When it react with HCl, it will form PbOHCl plus H2O. And the name of PbOHCl is basic lead chloride, that is basic salt. And the condition is that base should be polyacidic in nature. And second condition is acid should be present in an insufficient amount. And third is partial replacement of hydroxyl acid. Hydroxyl group. Another example of basic salts are MgOH whole twice plus HCl. Magnesium hydroxide have two hydroxyl ions, and due to partial replacement of hydroxyl ion, only one hydroxyl ion will react with one H plus of HCl, which will form H2O molecule, and one hydroxyl ion will not replace. So the formation of MgOHCl takes place, and the name of MgOHCl is magnesium hydroxychloride, which is basic in nature.